Welcome to the Cuddle Cinema. My name is Aaron, and tonight we are talking Friday the 13th. In fact, what we're doing here is I'm doing up a tier list for the Friday the 13th franchise where I'm going to be giving you my ranking for Friday the 13th. I'm doing it in a different way in that I'm going to give you some alternates for a lot of these titles here. And I'll be interested in knowing what alternates you have. So I actually ranked these off camera myself around 3 days ago. And I don't really remember, and I'm not going to look at my ranking from then because I'm not quite sure if it's going to be the same as my tier ranking. So I wanted to do that and kind of have some fun with it, and then look at my box set here and see if my ranking stayed the same, because my ranking changes all the time when it comes to Friday the 13th. For those that are uninitiated, Friday the 13th is my all-time favorite slasher franchise. I love me some Halloween. I love, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street. I love Scream. But Friday the 13th is one that I go back to over and over again. I just love that Camp Crystal Lake set franchise. Well, most of the time it's Camp Crystal Lake set. So without further ado, because I want to make this a nice short video, because I know most of you guys are like kind of binging some Friday right now, and hopefully I can help you to decide on a Friday to binge or an alternative if you've just watched your favorite Friday too many times. And let's be honest, how can you watch your favorite Friday too many times? But with that being said, let's hit the tier list right now and look at some of my favorite and least favorite Friday the 13th. All right, so we got all 12 of them here. There really should be 13, shouldn't there? But unfortunately, yeah, that hasn't happened as of yet. Now, I did make up this tier list myself. I went on Tier Maker and they did this. So what I intend on doing is totally ignoring this and literally just ranking them from my favorite to least favorite. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them all up in the elite class, and then I'm going to rank them. So right from the original Friday to part 2, part 3, because they're all elite to me. Part 4. If Jason still haunts you, you're not alone. Now, these aren't ranked yet. I'm just going to put them all up here, and then we're going to do the ranking. I can tell you right now that certain films I do have a proclivity to not like as much as others. All right, now they got all 12 of them up there, from the Paramounts to the New Lines to the remake, which is right here. Let's go with the one I'm going to put in last place, and it's not going to be the remake. I'll tell you my thoughts on that when we get to it. But my least favorite, and the one that I don't enjoy any of these films really, but the one that I find myself watching the least out of all of the Friday the 13th films is one that is a bit of a crowd pleaser, and I know a lot of people love this film, and it is Freddy versus Jason. It's always been one that I'll go to last. Again, it's one that a lot of people love, but I think it's more of a nightmare film than it's a Friday film, and they get the characters, and it's really weird because Shannon Swift would go on to do the Friday 13th remake and do a pretty damn good job of it. However, they don't seem to really have the character of Jason completely down pat in this film here. And I think that's partially because the director had never seen a Friday 13th film, and they were pushed to put in things that didn't make sense to them. Jason being afraid of water was something that was not in this script. It's something that was apparently forced on them. Next up, it is going to be Jason Goes to Hell. Again, I don't mind this film, but if you've got Friday the 13th and there's no Jason Voorhees in it, there's a problem. And that problem is this right here. In next place, we are going to put the first of the Paramount ones that go on this list, and that is Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah, I find that the boat part of the film, which really is it should be the lesser part of the film, is the part that I like the most. So the Jason in Manhattan part, which is really mostly Vancouver, except for a couple pickup shots, really doesn't stand the test of time, and I'm just not a major fan of it. And with just Jason X is a fun film, but I don't think it's a really great Friday the 13th film. I do watch this one a lot more than I watch a lot of these though, because I just find it a fun film. But I think it's a Friday film. It does fail, but as a fun kind of slasher horror sci-fi film, it does pretty well. I don't find myself hating it at all. And in next place, in all honesty, I love the film, and unfortunately, she passed away recently. But it is the new. Actually, no, it's not the New Blood. I'm lying. It is Part 6. I know a lot of this is a fan favorite. A lot of people have this number one, that they really love it, that they adore this film. And I do too. I think it's a fantastic film. It's extremely well made. But for me, Part 6, as good as it is, it's the downfall of the franchise. It takes Jason and kind of makes him more supernatural. I don't take Jason as a supernatural character for 1 and 4. I think that the a lot of the fear and scariness of Jason is taken out in this film. Great guy playing Jason, well, CJ Graham. Well, through most of it anyway. There's another actor that plays Jason in the film at the beginning, who was let go actually. But CJ Graham does a good job. It's a good film. I think it is the downfall of Friday the 13th, and a slightly better for me is the one that's going to go right ahead of it, and that is The New Blood. I do like this film. It's been neutered a lot and censored by what has been done with it, but I actually just really enjoy The New Blood. I like Lara Park Lincoln in it. I like Kevin Spirtas. I think they do a great job. And this is the first Kane Hodder Friday the 13th, and the best Kane Hodder Friday the 13th by far and large. I absolutely adore this film. And next up is the remake. I do like the remake a lot. I think they did a lot of great things with it. They made a lot of really good choices. Uh, I think Derek Mears, it's a shame Derek Mears hasn't played Jason like since this, because he's a beast of a Jason, does a great job. Uh, the original, kind of like the first cast, the characters that kind of get, spoiler alert, get cut off at the beginning before the actual real cast comes in, are probably more fun and slightly more likable than the cast that comes in. But that being said, the cast that comes in is still really, really good. And some of them, I think, did an incredible job in this one here. And people may say, well, the guy is a complete dick, but yeah, he is a complete dick. And he does it really, really well. I actually like that film. And the twist with the two final girls and only one can make it. And it's just, there's so much that I loved about this film. With that being said, we're down to our final five. And in fourth place, oh, in fifth place, we're going to go with this one's hard. We're gonna go with number five. Number five in fifth place works for me because it's a really good film. It's one of my favorites. I watch it the most, and it normally is my number one or two spot. But I'm doing this on Friday the 13th as a Friday the 13th ranking, and how well I felt that these films did as a Friday 13th film, and kind of filling out those quotas of what Friday the 13th should have and what should be in it. And Jason isn't in this one. Spoiler. Well, he is sort of in like kind of flashbacks and like dream sequences and hallucinations. But I really do enjoy this film. In fourth place, I'm going to put number three. I think number three is probably the most likable cast of the Friday 13th franchise, more so than the one that's going to actually go into the number three spot. But it's the first one with the hockey mask. They do a lot of really cool things. There's a couple sequences that I am iffy on, and their portrayal of Jason is actually as I come to think of it, yeah, it's going down. Because their portrayal of Jason, I know they really didn't understand or have like what Jason's character was, but the iffy portrayal of what Jason does in the woods just lessens that one for me. So, yeah, part five, you just beat part three. No, you didn't. I changed my mind again. It's my list. I can do what I want. Although it's not let me do it. There we go. In third place is part four, the final chapter. I really love part four, and I think it's something that does everything about Friday the 13th absolutely right. And it takes the first well, parts 2 and 3 and puts them kind of together and plays the hits. And the fact that it plays the hits and has a great cast and a wonderful score and is great overall, just for me, just chef's kiss. It is a perfect overall sequel. Oh, there's a better sequel. And in the number one spot, because number two is going to come obvious real soon. So number one and two, we're going to put Friday 13th Part One, the original, the OG. A lot of people put this a lot lower, and I used to as well. But a couple years ago, I got to see this in theater with my cousin, who's not a horror fan at all. Um, not big, he wouldn't go to his way to watch horror films. And we really, really enjoyed it. It stood the test of time, and it really works in the drive-in theater atmosphere. It works in a. It may be lesser to some people when you're watching it at home on your TV, but in a theater setting, in a drive-in setting, this movie still packs the scares. It's still atmospheric. The music is great. The cast overall, I really enjoyed. The final girl, I think, is really, really good. And although there's no hint to who the killer is, it's not a mystery because you can't figure it out. It cheats. I really, really like this film, and I think that there would be no films aside after this if this film didn't exist in the first place. But the one that really became the blueprint, the one that really, really did everything for Friday the 13th and made the whole franchise what it is today, is the one in first place. That's number two. See, Friday 13th Part 2 has, by far and large, the best final girl out of the entire franchise. It has some of the best kills that we got to see, some of the best makeup, and one of my favorite, more ambiguous type of endings that people still argue about today. What's a dream? Is Paul still alive? What exactly is going on here? And I love the bag head look of Jason in this one, very much like the film The Town That Dread Sundown, which I'm pretty sure is where they got the idea for the bag at. But part two is my favorite Friday 13th, and it has been for a long, long time. And with all that being said, how did I rank them a couple days ago? Well, let's find out. Let's you see before I do. Let's see if I rank them the same. So did I rank them the same? Let's find out. Let's have to put these in the right order. Anyway, because I am super OCD about this. In last place, and let's put it up on the screen here so you guys can see. I actually put Jason Goes to Hell. So we got a change here already. I had Jason versus Freddy in last place just a second ago, but Jason Goes to Hell is the one that I put in last place here. And I can see why I did that. Not a great film. In 11th place, I had Freddy versus Jason. So we're on goal there. But we've already gotten one change. This was in last place. In 10th place, I've got Jason X. And I actually had Jason X a little bit higher on my ranking today. So yeah, we're getting different rankings here already. And next up is Jason Takes Manhattan. I wonder if they're all going to be the same, like it's a bit like farther up though. So that's what, 9th place now. We've got The New Blood, and I'm pretty sure this is fairly close to that, though I think I actually ranked part 6 lower than I ranked it in this here in this list. So part 6 is yeah, I'm surprised actually. So we're at the except that's where I put the remake right before part 6. As we go to our final 5, in 5th place, I put number 5. In fourth place, I put number 4. In third place, I put number 3. In second place, I put number 1. And in first place, as always, Friday the 13th, part 2. Now, let's just say you watch these a lot and you want to watch something else for you want to watch it, or maybe you want to put it with another slasher. Well, you can always watch Crystal Lake Memories, or if you want to watch that, you can watch this documentary right here called His Name Was Jason, which came out before Crystal Lake Memories, and is a bit like, not as big, but it's a bit more concise. Something, but other things you could watch instead. If you like the supernatural aspect of a killer like fighting against a somebody that has psychic or supernatural powers, then maybe instead of Jason, the New Blood, no, Friday 13th, the New Blood, maybe you want to check out Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 3. Better Watch Out, which stars Bill Moseley, where he plays the character Ricky, with a ball on his head, going up against a psychic who he's kind of tethered to him due to some dream research that has been done. If you want to watch something instead of part 3, I've actually got 2 choices for you for instead of part 3. If you want to go with the 3D aspect of it, you can watch Silent Madness, another 3D slasher film put up by Vinegar Syndrome. That is a lot of fun. And the 3D in this is done by the same person that did the 3D for Friday the 13th 3D. So you're going to get comparable 3D effects for both films. Let's just say, though, you're more of a fan of the lead actress and you wanted to see her in a film that arguably is a better film than Friday the 13th Part 3. Sweet 16 with Dana Kimmel. She is the star of Friday the 13th 3. And she's not quite the star of this one, but she is sort of like one of the leads. And very highly underrated slasher film. If, say, for instance, you wanted to get one of the weirder, sleazier, like Friday the 13th, like Part 5, and you like that, you might get a little bit of fun out of this kind of sleazy, kind of weird, very different in Madman. Madman Mars stalks the people in this one here, and a guy stalks a girl as they go around in the most awkward hot tub scene that you'll ever see. It's weird, it's sleazy, it's different, and it's your alternate for part 5. If you want an alternate for part 6, where things start to get supernatural, where there's a bit of a body count, where things are a little bit different, then I'm going to show you this Ruben Glender Jr. film, and it is called The Grave Robbers. It is pretty much a Friday 13th style supernatural film with these grave robbers that come and they rob a grave. And that doesn't turn out too well because somebody doesn't like having his grave robbed and he goes after them. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it. If you want a better version of Jason Takes Back, if you want a actual cool New York style set, like urban slasher film, may I interest you to Maniac Cop, a much better film that takes on the whole urban slasher. And if you want a follow up to it, like kind of like Part 4 did, right? Maniac Cop 2, which takes all the good parts of Maniac Cop and adds in some other cool slashery stuff to give you an even better film. I arguably go back and forth between which I like better, 1 and 2. And it's the same for me when I'm watching like Friday the 13th, 2 and 4. But one that really hits, I think, is the slasher one. You want one that's going to be in space. And there's only really one choice. There's a few different choices you could think about, but is anything better than Leprechaun in space? When we're looking at space, Jason X and Leprechaun in space is a great double feature. I love me some Leprechaun in space. I don't care what anybody says. I'll go on that hill. You want weirdness? We talked about sleazy with Madman, but you want something even sleazier for part 5? You want another part 5 option? One option for like one of those pieces pieces is ultra sleazy. It is ultra weird. It is strange. It is bloody. It is gory. It's a blast. You'll love it. And definitely one to check out. The next three are just three really good slasher films, with the one I'm saying last probably my highest recommendation, and one that I think not enough people talk about, and I wish they did talk about it more. So these are my top three, like alternates. And in third place, it is Psycho 2. Psycho 2 is one of those, much like Friday the 13th, where the sequel, I'm going to say it, you're going to be upset. Some of you guys are going to be upset. In my opinion, it surpasses the original film. And I love me some Psycho, but I absolutely adore Psycho 2. And I think this is a great, great sequel. And I think that if you're looking for a cool, like, slasher mystery aspect thing, this is fantastic. In second place is one that's kind of an alternate to part two, basically because Savini did this instead of part two. And that would be of course, The Burning, which is another like really good slasher film with some great effects and a wonderful cast of characters, and that does the Cropsey legacy kind of like killer that had meant to be what like Madman was about, but The Burning came out first, and they took that Cropsey legend. But if there's a slasher in the woods, one that I would really like to put on your radar, if it's never been on there, it's this one with Greg Henry and George Kennedy. And it's one that not enough people talk about, but it's one that I'm going to hopefully put your way tonight. And it is Just Before Dawn. I absolutely adore this film. The ending to this is definitely shocker. And if you have not seen this movie, I 100% recommend it. It is a great time and a wonderful watch and a beautiful slasher film. So there you go. Happy Friday the 13th from us here at Cult of Cinema. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. You're watching some great Friday 13th, watching some great slasher films. I'm going to go now and grab myself a coffee. I still have a lot of work to do, and I think I'm going to watch part two and Just Before Dawn as my kind of my Friday the 13th double feature. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're watching tonight for Friday the 13th, or what you watched if you watch this later on. As always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Always listen to Subscription Sloth, because he's a very, very wise person. And I'll see you next time, right here in the Cult of Cinema.
Oh God. Subscription Sloth here. Just want to remind you that I know in the summertime especially it can be super warm and lazy. But if you're liking this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to go that step further and join the Patreon, there's a link for that down below. You can super sticker, super chat, or donate. But above all, just lie back and enjoy the video, because that's what I'm going to do.